Alright guys, we're back with another video. Today we're going to be doing a FMC tutorial. I'm going to show y'all how to add mods to FMC, the things you can add to FMC, stuff like that. Okay, so to begin with, we are going to use my work in progress Gojo mod as an example of how to add mods to FMC. We're going to use both 9B and Beta. So I'm going to show you how to do both 9B and Beta, um, just so you can have that experience. So let's see here. Test file, and then let's just make. So the first thing you have to do is clone the file itself. So let me see if I do. Okay, and then once you do that, now you name it and then make it a Swift. And then we open up the file, and then now we need to clone the character. um, so what we do here is just kind of click on the make sure you have JPEG installed first, and then click on the .swift file, and then press export SWF XML. It might take a bit depending how large the mod is. So let me just find the right folder for this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna do this. All right. And then now once we clone it, open up the folder you cloned it in, and then open up the Swift. I use Notepad plus plus, but you don't have to use Notepad plus plus. You can also do this in regular Notepad, but I think it's just easier to work at with Notepad plus plus. So I'll just let that do its thing. All right. So now that we have this open, all you have to do is Control F, and then make sure you know the name of the character, the original character that the mod is over. So in this case, it's Naruto. And if you want to be able to check that, just go down here, and whatever is in front of the underscore, yeah, whatever in front of the underscore, that's the name of the character that the mod is over. So in this case, it's Naruto. And then you would replace that with the name of the actual modded character. So in this case, Gojo. Replace all, and then do the same thing with the capital name, because sometimes there might be some capital names in there. So yeah, do the same thing, and then close and save that, and close that out, and then I'll keep Notepad++ open for now because we're gonna need that later. So we would then import the Swift XML, and then we're gonna go to where you saved it at. So for me, it's over here. Oops, not over here. Over here, and in this folder. Okay, and then it might take a while, but depending on how big the mod is. But once you do that, you save, and then you reload the Swift, because you need something. You need to edit something in here. So you'll go to main timeline, and then scroll all the way down, and then go to the GUID, and just replace this with null, and then save, and then save again. All right, then close JPEGs, and then we're gonna rename this Swift to SSF, and then we're going to put that into the FMC folder. So data, character, and then just put it in here. Okay, and then once you put it in there, now you open up the assets part and go into config, and then mappings.json. So that this is where you actually put like the character's GUID information and that location of the file, the name of the file. So I already have a bunch of characters added in here already, so I just copy and paste what's there, and then change the names, and then make sure that you have a comma after the last one that you add. or the last one that was there before you added the new character, because the last one in the list has to have no comma. So we're gonna do this, and then the GUID is still null, so that's gonna stay the same. And we'll save that, and then we'll scroll back up, and it's like all the way up here. Okay, so I'm gonna put Gojo in this row with the rest of my JJK characters. I'm gonna put them here, and then I'll have to move Dingy down a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So Dingy's now there. And then you would also want to put him inside of the random character list. So that what that basically means is that whenever you pick a random character, the character that you just added is included in the list of random characters to pick from. So you should just put him in here like that. Make sure he does have a comma at the end. And then save that. And then now you open up fighter.xml. So for this, you don't have to have an image. It's not necessary. I just like to for aesthetic purposes. So what you do is copy the previous one that's there already. And if you're in a fresh FMC build, then you'll have a template at the top. It should be it's around here somewhere. It should be at the top. I might have removed it, but yeah, it's at the top. So then you could just put Gojo in this case, and then the name of the actual character. So it would be Satoru Gojo, and this is what shows up on the character select screen when you pick the character. And then change this to the name of the ID, and this as well to the name as ID underscore CS. And then I'm gonna go find the image on Google real quick for Gojo, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I found the image on Google for Gojo. So what you do now is you go into face, and then there is a template in here like near all the way to the bottom, but like you don't have to use it because there's usually already characters added that have images in the assets folder already. So what you can just do is grab those, grab the name of the character and then underscore CS, and then drag that into like your paint .net or whatever your imaging editing software is. And so for the CS, I'm just gonna use this image right here and then kind of decrease the size. Oh wait, let me make sure it's on nearest neighbor. Yeah. Nearest neighbor keeps the quality of the image intact when you size it down, as long as you press shift. So do that. So that's his CS, and then Control Shift S, so I can save it as an actual new image. And we're gonna do Gojo underscore CS. And then for here, we're going to do the same thing, but it's gonna be slightly bigger. You'll be able to see more of Gojo because this is the portrait art, not the character selection screen art. So that should be fine. And then Control Shift S. See, that's Gojo. Okay, and then now since we already set it up in here, we don't have to do anything else in the XML file, the Fighter XML. So now if we open up the game, give it a sec to load because I do have a lot of characters in my build. But yeah, now that we load up the game, if we if we go to let's go to training mode to see if he's there, and he is right here. And then let's test if the character actually works. So let's go in. Looks like he does. Yep, okay. So yep, that's how you add a character in the 9B. Now I'm gonna show you how to do adding a character into the beta version of the game. as well as like adding a beta character and a 9B character. So we're gonna get into that. Okay, to start off, first you need to take that file that you cloned earlier and then change it back to a Swift. And then you're gonna see in the beta FMC version, there's an API update for 9B. Open up that text file, copy and paste everything in it, and then open up your Swift. So we're gonna do that. And then once you go to this section, calm dot McLeod Gaming dot Super Smash 2 API dot core, click on the Super Smash 2 API, and then scroll down until you see add event listener, and then you want to edit the action script, and then from add event listener all the way to destroy timer, you're gonna just select it all and then control V, and then it will replace everything and add the new functions that you need. And then you can save, and then save again. And then now you can rename it back to a .ssf, and then you can copy and paste that and put it inside of your Beta FMC folder. So data character right here. Okay, and then now if you go into your assets and then config, and we go into Fire XML and open on mappings JSON as well. We'll do mappings JSONs first, since that's usually more important to do first than Fire XML. So we're just gonna do this, copy and paste the last character that was there. We're gonna do this, change that to Gojo, and remember the GUID for Gojo was null, so we're gonna keep it as null, and we're going to put this as Gojo and Gojo. And for the name, it has to be the same name as you use in the Fighter XML. So I'm going to say Satoru Gojo, and that will be the same once I go into the Fighter XML. So I'm going to scroll down to 9B mods 3. I got to find where my JJK characters are. I think they're somewhere. Where's Yuji at? Oh, here he is. Okay, so I'm just gonna put Gojo here. I'm gonna have to move around some characters real quick. So we're gonna move Kaguro down 1 row. We're gonna put her here. Now, depending on how you do this, you won't have to move around characters as much as I do, because um, you can just put them at the end, the emptiest row, and just put them there. But I like to keep it semi-organized. I did keep 9B more organized than beta though. Don't really have a reason for that. I just just kind of did it that way. Um, so I'm gonna move Dante to the next row. Put him. Guess we can just put him here. Yeah. Okay. And okay, now that we've got that done, we can scroll down to the random character section. Scroll all the way here, and then make sure that you put the same ID, so Gojo, and then put it at the end of the list so that it's included in the random characters. And then open up Fighter XML. So this actually has, the beta version has a whole template for the stuff that you can add and stuff. So it gives you like a description of the things you can add, what each of them do, and like how do you add them. And then there's a whole template with costumes here that you can copy and paste and use however you want to. So I'll show how to add costumes when we get to adding the beta character. Um, that will be explained later in the video, so just hold on for a second. Um, but for now, we're going to finish the 9B character, so we're going to go here. We're going to copy and paste Kim, and then we're just going to do this, and Gojo, and then the name is Gojo. Satoru Gojo. Let me just double check I spelled that the same way I did here. And I did. Looks like. Yeah, okay. And then the CS name, we're just gonna keep it as Gojo. So we're just gonna keep that as Gojo. And then let's say we're gonna change this to the actual creator, which is me in this case, and then we're gonna say, nah, I'd win. There we go. And then Gojo, and then change that to Gojo, and change this to Gojo. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the images for Gojo. So Beta FMC has a template for the images. So how I usually do this is I take the templates and then I select them all, put them into my image editing software, and then I just make a new layer. Oops, and I don't have an image in here. So let me just go grab it again real quick. Okay. So I put a new put a new layer. I put the image back in here. Scale it down a little bit, and then let's put it like a little bit more. Okay, and then we're gonna put him here. We're gonna delete the background, and then Control Shift S to save it as a new image, and then we're gonna name it as Gojo, assets, character portrait, and save it in here. And then we're gonna do the same thing for triangle, but put it in a different folder. You'll see in a minute. So we're going to make sure that the part of the image that you want to see in game is in the triangle. So I'm going to shrink down Gojo just a little bit more so his hair is visible in the triangle and stuff. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do this, and Control Shift S, and the template triangle, we're going to change that to Jogo triangle, Jogo, not Jogo, Gojo triangle. And then we're going to say assets, character triangle, and then save it in there. And for the CS, we're going to do the same thing, but make sure that the image that the part of the image that you want to see is inside of the yellow box here. So we're going to put it like this. That should be fine. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and we're going to delete the background, Control Shift S, and then save it as Gojo underscore CSS. And then we're going to go to character icon, save it in here. And now we got the images set up for Gojo. So let me turn on my controller real quick because I play beta with controller. Okay. So let me open up beta real quick. So we're just gonna open up Beta FMC. Give it a sec to load. Okay, and then I'm gonna go into the controls real quick just to make sure my controller set up. Okay, and it looks like, yeah. Okay. So let's go to solo training, and we're gonna go all the way to where our character list is. It looks like I need to fix my CS screen, so I'll fix that in a little bit. But for now, let's just see where Gojo is. He's right here. So I'm gonna fix my CS screen in a little bit. It looks like it's off center, or we have too many characters on that row. So I'm just gonna do this. We're gonna go to waiting room. Oops, I forgot that it's different on this controller. Okay, we're gonna do this, and it looks like he works. And then the character triangle, that's when you use the smash ball. Okay, so when I use the smash ball here, the character triangle pops up, and you can see his face. Like I said, this mod is unfinished, so yeah, it's just Naruto for now. Okay, So let me fix that character icon real quick. So for that, we're gonna scroll back up to mappings.json. I'm gonna find where Kaguru is right here. Looks like I have her in here twice. That's probably why. Okay, I sure do. Yep. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove her. Oops, I think I'm muted. But yeah, just gonna remove her there and save that. Um, so we're going to open this up again just to see if the CS screen is correct now. I'm also going to change my controls. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I finished changing my controls and everything. So we're just going to go back over to the screen. Okay, it looks like it's fixed for the most part, but I might have misspelled Kaguro's name or something. I'll have to check that real quick. So actually, a cool thing that you can do with beta, the beta version of this, is that if you make an edit while the game is open, you can actually refresh the game and it'll like update the changes that you just made. So we're gonna put Kaguro. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, I see what I did. I moved her when she didn't need to be moved. So we're gonna scroll down. Yep, down to where Kaguro is. We're gonna put her in front of. We're gonna put her in front of Kaname, and then we're going to remove Kaguro from down here. Let me see. That means I'm missing someone. You know what? For now. Yeah, I think I am missing someone, but for now I'm just gonna keep it as this. So let me show you the feature I was talking about. So if you press Control R in game, where is it? F11? No, it's not F11, it's F5. Okay, hold up. I might need to look what the keybind is again. One second. Okay, in order to reload in the game, you press Control F5, so you can just press Control F5 like this if it's not already reloading. So the reload is finished. So if we go back in here, we can see that our CS is updated. And you can just reload by pressing Control F5, and then once you exit out the screen you're currently on and then come back in, it'll fix itself, whatever the edits you made. So we're just gonna keep it like this for now. Everything looks good. Okay, so now I'm going to get into how to add beta characters and costumes. So give me a second to find a suitable beta character for this. All right, so I found a character. It took a bit, but we got Wii Fit Trainer here. She's from Project B, but she has beta engines stuff already built into her. So I am just going to use her. So for beta characters, it's basically the same process. I'm just going to change this to null. She already has her, she's already cloned, so that's good. We can just change that to null. And then we are going to get the costumes from this character as well. So just give me, so here we are in data 8 for Project B. We're just going to grab the costume information from here. So we're going to search for Wii Fit Trainer. So here we are right here. So we're just going to grab all of these. Oh, it looks like she doesn't actually have built-in costumes, just hue shifts. Okay. Here I was thinking it was gonna be like actual costumes. Let me see. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do instead. Since there really isn't a beta mod out right now that has like a costumes built in and stuff, um, that's available to the public at least, that I don't already have added to my pack. I'm just gonna show you the process that I use to add them to the pack. So we're gonna go to assets, and then we're going to go to character costume. So when I added Isabel, that same file that I was in, dat8, I just found her costume information, and then I copied and pasted it, and then instead of having it with a push array, so like an array list, I just made it an actual array, and just had like the opening bracket here and then the ending bracket all the way at the bottom, and then kept everything else the same except removing the push and then adding a open bracket and a closed bracket around what I wanted to add, like each element of the costume. So that's that. And then the other process is exactly the same as it is for 9B, but instead you don't have to change the API at all, because you know beta API is already beta API for beta characters, so you don't have to change the API at all. But the only thing that really changes is adding the costumes. So this is how you do it. You have to make a action script file, which is just .as. You can just hold up, let me show you. You can just make a text document and then just rename it to .as like that, and then it'll make an action script file. But I don't want this one to be an action script file because there's nothing in it, and I already have a .dojxas. So yeah, that just keeps it as an action script that turns it to an action script file. And then after you do that, you just do that process that I just showed earlier with the Isabel example, and then now you have all the palette swaps and stuff in there. So if I go to the PA real quick for Isabel, Isabel's portrait is color separated. So you have to make sure that you grab the color separated portrait from the character file. So you have to make sure that you have that ready. And then the same thing goes for the triangle, and the same thing goes for the icon. Actually, no, the icon you can keep color separated because it won't change based on the costume you have in the game. So that you can keep non-color characters color separated. So if we go here and open up Beta FMC real quick, but before I show that, let me show what she looks like inside of the Fighter XML. So as you can see, it's the same thing, but instead we have this costume data variable down here, and that just holds the location of the action script file that we had created earlier for Isabel. So now that we have all that explained, and then the mapping thing is exactly the same. I just put her in the beta character section, beta mods section, instead of the 9B section. And then Isabel is her GeoID is null. I changed it to null, and the file name is the same and everything. Okay, so we're just gonna open up Beta FMC. Okay. We're gonna go to training mode. Oh, that's not training mode. We're gonna go to training mode, and we're gonna go select Isabel real quick. And then, as you can see, she has that dice. That means the costumes were added successfully. If you press random, it'll like give you a random costume. So if we actually go in game, let's just choose this skin for now. If we go in game and let's go to where's Smashville. You can see that she has her costume in game, and all of her moves work. The only reason why she's marked as 9B is because she's a Project B character, but she has the same API as beta characters. So that's the reason why she can work without making any API changes. So if we use the final smash real quick, her PA, her triangle should be the same color as her costume. So there you go. That's how you add characters to both beta and 9B FMC. If you have any more questions, I'll leave the FMC Discord server link in the description, and that's also where you can download both versions, 9B and beta. So I'll just link that in the description. So hopefully this helps. Have a great rest of your day and good luck.